Okie dokie. Here we are. Hello and welcome, everybody. Get the round of applause going. Woo! We really do need a soundboard. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Kubuntu podcast. This is show number 6. We're going to be talking about the latest release of Kubuntu, Wily Werewolf. My name's Rick Timmis.
And I'm Ovidio Florin.
Woohoo! Yeah. And we're a man down at the moment. We don't know where he's gone. We think that he has been abducted, or he could be out under the full moon, having transformed himself into a werewolf.
We're trying to compensate his absence with enthusiasm.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. So, and of course, well, we're really privileged this evening as well, because we are also live on the Ubuntu Online Summit. Hooray! Fame, celebrity at last.
Yep, we're starting to get known.
We are notorious. I mean, famous celebrities. Anyway, all right. So what we're going to cover tonight, we're going to take a look at this latest release that's just gone live, Kubuntu 15.10, Wily Werewolf. We're going to be looking at that. A video is going to take us through doing an install of that. It's going to set that up in VirtualBox. We're going to take a look at that as that goes along. We're going to be also talking a little bit about the community, giving you some updates from the community meeting on convergence and Kubuntu that we had yesterday. We'll also be talking about what new features you can expect to look out for and some of the really cool things that are available in Kubuntu 15.10. Now, as always, we've put lots of effort into prior planning and preparation of this show, and that's why, as I'm talking, a video is right in the show notes right now.
Yeah, so, I'm remembering things and I'm adding them as fast as I can so we don't forget them.
We are live. It is dangerous. Things could go wrong, and they probably will. Okay, so, well, obviously, since the last time we saw you on the show, a few of us have been doing a few different bits and pieces and getting into doing some things. I have been updating some of my machines and loading Kubuntu, the latest version of Kubuntu on that, and I've been having a lot of fun with that and getting a few things set up. Hopefully, Aaron is going to join us shortly. I'm filling for a moment here at a video. I'm wondering whether the next step we might want to look at is perhaps maybe talking a little bit about just how simple and straightforward it is to go through the installer process now.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I have the installer here ready if people would like to take a look at me. One moment to make sure that I'm presenting to everybody. Yeah, everybody, look at me now. Yeah, so this is the installer. Let me check one more time. How do you see it? Okay, so I'm installing this in VirtualBox since it's the easiest way. Choose your language. I'm going to leave it in English right now because if I'm going to put it in Romanian, not many people will understand. So, VirtualBox, I have a 10 gigabyte virtual hard disk, and just at first glance, you can see brand new, fresh theme. And for this, we have to thank two people, especially, not just them, but especially two people for pushing this in. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong with this, but as far as I know, I'm not. Jens and Harold, they are the people who pushed this forward so that we can have this new awesome installer.
Yeah, I think that's right.
As far as I've seen on Google Plus, that's what they bragged about.
All right, so press some buttons. Let's see what we got.
I'm going to push the buttons. I'm going to click install Kubuntu. Yeah, third party. Why not? I'm going to leave the updates for later because this will take more time. So we'll just install them after the install is finished. So just vanilla is actually just vanilla. Let's go vanilla. Continue. So no third party applications or drivers or anything. Yeah.
We're not just vanilla plain. We're not even having sprinkles.
Yeah. So partition layout, just I'll let it have its thing, do wherever you want, just use the whole disk.
You definitely want to do that. Even if you've got Windows installed on your machine, you definitely just want to use the whole disk. It's safer. Yeah. You're going to be happier in the long term.
Exactly. Time zone, internet detection works like magic. It found my location. I'm going to continue. Okay, come on. I clicked
How
continue,
does it
didn't I?
do that? How does it know what time zone you're in? Is it doing that by IP address or pick it up from the virtual
Actually,
box?
it's some NTP black magic.
Ooh, scary juju.
Okay, I'm gonna go on. Romanian keyboard layout, since I'm Romanian. I'm gonna leave it like that. It's just like the English one. What name should I type in here?
Donald Duck.
Donald. Okay, Donald Duck. Password Donald
Mickey.
123. Just
No
to be
need for
sure.
John the Ripper for that one.
I'll leave it for automatic login. Continue. I hope I typed the password the same. And after some, I like that spinny thing. I like how it looks. Awesome.
Do you know, it's so straightforward. This is, this is a 6-year-old could do it.
Yeah. We have a question from Ridwing. He asked if could we have English at the top of the language chooser by default?
Yes, it was there. That was correct. It was there at the top.
It's selected by default. So, but I think he's asking if we can have English at the top of the list, not sorted alphabetically.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be such a good idea.
I can see his point here, since most users will probably want in English. Probably, I don't know. I'm saying probably here. So I can see his point, but in my opinion, since it's already selected by default, that would cover the scenario. And if you have that drop list or combo box, if you have that opened, you can just start typing and it will automatically find whatever you want. So you can just type EN and it will give you what you need.
Yeah.
So I hope I answered this question. So I'm going to leave this installer to go while we talk. Rick, if you want to show us something, or should we go to the intro and talk about what we did?
Yeah, okay. Let's move back to the intro and leave the installer running for a moment. So, of course, obviously,
Rick,
it's been a few weeks now since the last show. But what are some of the... Well, I guess let me throw the question to you and then see what you've been up to. And if you haven't got an answer, I'll come up with something. So, what have you been up to, a video?
I've blogged about this, but I'm going to tell everybody. So I've been to the K-Develop and Kate sprint in Berlin, where I've worked on several things. I've talked about them on my blog. Please go and see it. And but most importantly, what I've learned from other KDE contributors is don't stress yourself. Don't kill yourself working as a volunteer. You're supposed to work on this thing for fun because you like doing this. Not you're supposed to do this for fun, not to be stressed about. It's not your job. You're not going to get fired if you don't work for a month or something. Nobody's going to deny your experience because you have a job and you have a life and you can't contribute. You can work because you like doing that, because you want to do something right. That's a problem I had, because I stressed myself. I want to fix this bug, but I don't have time. And every day I struggled to work for a few minutes or hours or as much as I could, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I almost had a nervous breakdown because I couldn't go forward with this.
Yeah,
I talked with those guys, especially Million Wolf. I want to thank him a lot for opening my eyes on this. And since then, I've concentrated my contributions into smaller sections. So, for example, I'm not going to work the whole week because I have work, I have family, and I have to do this and that around the house. And during the weekend, if I can find 2 hours to work, I'm going to dedicate those 2 hours and focus on that project. And then just work on that. And I saw that after those 2 hours, the results were much better than what I could do in the whole week split 5 minutes each day or something like that.
Yeah, and there's also when you set like a precedent in your mind when you're stressed and feeling stressed and uncomfortable about doing things, that kind of blocks you, and it makes it hard to be creative, and it makes it hard to think about the problem that you're trying to solve as well. So you kind of it's almost counterintuitive by being stressed and strained. It's I think that's really good advice. I think we all feel like that as well. I know I do. Very often I feel, as though I'd want to do so much more. I want to contribute so much more. I wish I could work on this full time and just do nothing else. But, but that's not possible, and it's not realistic for everybody to do that.
Yeah. Regarding to this working on full time, when we get into the news section, we have to tell you guys something about this. But
yeah, we do. We're going to speak about that. Let's keep our powder dry. Stay with us, guys. Stay with us. Make sure that you're posting links out to this on Google Plus and on Twitter. Share this link. Let's build the audience up a little bit. We're going to talk about somebody really special in just a little while. But do you think, before I tell you about what I've been up to, should we take a dive back and see how the installer's getting on? I can see the screens flashing by there. Looks pretty groovy, a video.
Yeah, it says configuring hardware. It's at 66%, so it's going. It's gonna take a very short time, but since it's installing on a virtual machine, and I'm also doing lots of things on this machine, the whole processing power of my machine can't go to the installer.
And so I see, and
that's gonna slow it down.
And we've got a brand new slideshow here as well. I don't know if those of you who are watching in the screen, if you've those of you that have experienced installing 1504, for example, you'll see that all of the slides here are all new. There's been a huge amount of work done in the background on Kubuntu, both in terms of the documentation. We've got really, really great docs. And when Aaron turns up, we'll get him to tell you about that. docs.kubuntu.org.
Go and take a look. News.
But bits of other bits and pieces. I'm nicking your news, so sorry, a video. I apologize.
Okay. One more thing that I've been up to is I've integrated many new KD translations. I've seen awesome Romanians. They want to contribute with translations, and I'm asking everybody, if you think it's important for you, for your country, for your countrymen, is that the right word?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If it's important for you and your countrymen, then translate, work on it. There's a local team for every language. Just translate and submit the translations, and they will integrate them. Okay, that's what I wanted to cover. Oh yeah, one more thing about the podcast. Don't forget about this. We shared on Google Plus, and we're going to tell you right now. We have audio feeds right now, MP3 and OGG. The links are on our Google Plus. Look over there, you'll find it. And I also added to the show notes in this episode. So look for the links in there. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered it.
Okay, so
what have you done?
Okay, so there's been a few things that I've been getting into recently that are particularly interesting, really, I suppose, to the show. I wasn't able to make the Jupiter Broadcasting show. I know both yourself and Aaron were able to join the Linux Unplugged show by Jupiter Broadcasting, where we got some just stunning advice, really, from the guys at Jupiter Broadcasting about some of the tools that we can set up and how we can improve the podcast, etc. Which is one of the reasons, I think, is one of the reasons why we've now got the RSS feeds, so that you can subscribe in Amarok or there are also other favorite podcast aggregators available as well. So I've been listening to that and taking a lot of that information on board, just thinking about how we can kind of make the show flow a little bit more, and how we can get some more exposure. Really, I'm kind of really keen and interested to see us getting a wider audience for Kubuntu podcast and Kubuntu in general. So I've been chasing down some leads there, and I'm going to follow up some more things on that as well. So that's been really quite interesting. Hey, here's the restart button. Interrupt the show to bring you the install is complete and we're ready to go.
Okay, I'm gonna click restart right now and let it do its thing. And since we're on the note of better show, for a better show, I also borrowed from my wife's cousin a microphone, a professional microphone for recording audio, and I'm testing it for a week now. And guys, leave us some feedback. How does my voice sound? Is it better? Is it worse? I'm hoping it's better. So let us know.
It definitely sounds better to me. It's much clearer. It sounds better. It sounds much better balanced and equalized, is what I would say. So I think it is a big improvement, and I think it makes a big difference. So that was great advice there from Chris at Jupiter Broadcasting. So that was really good.
Yeah, and we're also gonna try doing a show. We're gonna experiment with different software and try to still keep it live so you can watch it on YouTube, or mostly YouTube. But we're gonna try to stop using Hangouts because it lowers the quality, and we're gonna try to record locally so we can have a higher quality than what's streaming live. And after that, you can watch the recording in higher quality. Also audio and video.
Well, we'll have to discuss that further as to whether we completely abandon Google Hangouts.
For now, we won't. For now, we won't.
Quite cool to have a live audience.
Baby steps through all these tools.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got to look at all of that and see what's going on. But there is some really good tools out there. Something that I discovered, I was looking for a kind of soundboard tool, something that I could use to mix the audio from my microphone with the audio, with other audio from the system. And I came across something in the Muon Software Center called the Internet DJ Console. And now I haven't, at this point, actually been able to get it set up and figure out what on earth all those amazing magic buttons do. But it looks like you can set this up to play streams of music, have a soundboard on it. You can also call in VoIP telephone conversations, so we could have a mumble room like they do at Jupiter Broadcasting and connect other people in to talk to us and so on and so forth. So, all of us here at Kubuntu Podcast have all been experimenting with these things to try to improve the show. And one of the other things, of course, the most important thing, I think, is keeping things tight. We set out to do an hour's show, and we intend to try to start on time and finish on time and stick to the show notes. But let's jump back to the installer for a moment, because here we go. We're booting up to the desktop now, a video, yes?
Yep. Auto login without the password. I've said that.
I love this new splash screen, the way that they've taken that background and just defocused it, and kind of, I love the ambient colors. It's groovy, really. I
like
groovy
it as well, very much, but unfortunately I don't see it very often because very rarely I have to log in. My computer is always on.
I'm lucky. At work, I get the opportunity to use Kubuntu on my desktop for both work and also my home stuff as well. So I get that kind of every day when I log in, and I like showing it off around the office. I use the activities, and I have 3 or 4 different activities on my desk. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point. And I also have the cube set up and the wobbly transparent windows, and I use a lot where you flick the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, and it cascades all the windows out across the desktop to show you all the different windows that are running. And very often people in the office kind of look at this desktop and think, what's this stuff Rick's using? It looks amazing. Yeah, I like showing off.
I also like that functionality with show all windows in the corner, but it doesn't make you happy if you're working remote on a computer and you accidentally move your mouse trying to click in a different window, and then you see everything and you have some lag because of network connection, and all the windows are frozen because the effect has started on the remote machine and the effect is there, but you don't see it yet because of internet lag.
Yeah, of course. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not lucky enough to be able to work remote. Sometimes wish I was, but there we are. I'm not. But okay, so So we're booted now to the desktop. And what are your thoughts on the new background, the default background wallpaper of Video?
I like it a lot. I've seen how it was made. The author, I don't remember his name, but the author made a blog post of each step how he created this wallpaper. And when I saw the first pictures, like, what is he building? How will it look? I'll have to look for the article and post it here. And when I saw the final result, it was, wow, look at the complexity of from where he started and how he got to this. So as far as I remember, initially he drew some kind of the triangles for a donut or something like that, and then he copied the donut and turned it inside out or something like that, and then he added colors and all kind of shadows. It was amazing. I'll have to show that to everybody. Thank you, Ellie, for the suggestion to change the size of the window.
Yes, much better. We can see that much better now, actually. Okay, so well, while we're about
it, we 20 minutes. It took us 20 minutes to install Kubuntu,
start to finish.
Yeah, from start to finish.
And easy. I mean, we did it. We answered about 3 screens of questions, didn't we?
Yeah, and after that, we just waited and talked about stuff. And now we get that we have updates, and I have to install VirtualBox additional tools or something.
So
okay, wherever.
Well, let's jump in. Let me jump in here for a moment before we start looking at some of the applications, because we were going to talk about some of the people and somebody particularly important to the Kubuntu community and Kubuntu project about the work that's gone into building this. Now, obviously, you mentioned Harold and Jens for building the installer, etc. I think it's really important to make mention of Jonathan Riddell. You know, Jonathan has worked on the Kubuntu project for 10 years. I think many of you will know, and some of you may not know, that Jonathan has stepped down as release manager after all those years of work. Once he got this release out of the door and finished, he has now stepped down to move on to do other things. And we wish Jonathan the very, very best. It's been an absolute pleasure to be around him and seeing some of the work that he's done. But there are hours and hours and hours of work that go into packaging all of the Kubuntu components that sit on top of Ubuntu, and testing them and setting up the tool chains for continuous integration. And we have one member of our community, Scarlett Clark, who you've probably seen her on some of the shows, etc. But she has dedicated hour upon hour, day upon day, after day after day after day, not only doing the packaging, solving the problems, but also building the continuous integration system that runs out of Jenkins for both continuous integration and build of the KDE packages. So she does all the CI for KDE, which Kubuntu wouldn't be able to be what it is without the amazing work of the KDE community. And then on top of that, she then does all of the packaging for Kubuntu itself. Now, as you'll know, we've got some changes going on in our community right now. And that means that we need to really appeal to the wider community. We need to appeal to you guys, everybody who is out there with an interest in Kubuntu, to get involved and to help us in even the smallest of ways. Not in a stressful way, just in a nice and relaxed way. But even if it is just submitting that bug report when you're not sure whether you should, or just opening up an account on Launchpad and looking around, finding out a bit more, making some comments and recommendations about things that we could improve on the website, for example, or even helping us with the wiki, or of course, getting involved with the Kubuntu Council or the community in general, or getting involved with packaging and so on and so forth. One of the things that we really want you to help us with is Scarlett has now set up a Patreon account. What we are looking to do as a community is we're looking to get Scarlett to continue her work, working full-time, building and packaging Kubuntu. We are in the process now of looking to build or rebuild and improve our continuous integration infrastructure, and that's something that Charlotte wants to do. It's going to take a huge amount of time. To make that happen, we need to make sure that Charlotte works for us, the Kubuntu community, and doesn't have to go and work for Microsoft to release Windows 28, for example. So we have got a Patreon account for Scarlett.
Come on, Rick. Windows. I know Microsoft doesn't count Windows versions right, but still, Windows 28, that's a huge leap.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's
still,
going to take another 18 iterations to get it working properly. But there we are.
yeah, once they open source it, it's going to work properly.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. As soon as they open source it and use a Linux kernel, it'll be fine.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna publish the link to Scarlett's Patreon page, and ask if you can't donate, if you can't pledge to help her that much, it's very okay. However much you can, $1 is super. If everybody chips in $1, it's super awesome. But whatever you can. So
Yeah,
I've
absolutely. I
posted
totally
the
echo
link,
that.
whatever you can. As if you can't donate, that's also fine. Then, but if you can donate time and you want to work on this, as Rick just said, we are currently restructuring and making everything easier for people to get involved. Rick and I, we promised we'll get involved in bug triaging, because this is something that also Scarlett did, and together with Philip and other people, but mostly them. And we're trying to get this off of their backs so we can help them do other things that they're good at. We can do bug triaging. We're asking for other people to come and do all that. Help us find, hey, this bug, what component does it refer to? Is it a bug of Ubuntu? Is it a bug from KDE? Which application do we need to port the bug upstream? And all that. That's for bug triaging. If you want to get involved in packaging or CI or even development, awesome. That's great. That's the base place where we need people. But we also need people to write documentation, to do promotion, to... If you want to do something for Kubuntu, contact us. Tell us what you can do, and we'll find a place for you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And it can be a big thing or a small thing. You know, a contribution to Kubuntu can be as simple as telling your friend that you've installed Kubuntu and you like it and would they like to try it. That's a contribution to the community. It's that simple. Just downloading the ISO like we've just done there is 20 minutes. To download the ISO, install it on your machine and see whether it gets there, or install it in VirtualBox. There's also a testing process there, because you're testing that image and seeing that it works. So that 20 minutes of just experimenting and playing with it, that's a contribution to us, to Kubuntu, because in actual fact, you're playing with it, but at the same time, you're testing it. And those things are really important, because what makes Kubuntu really great is really great testing and really great bug reports. If you put the bug reports in, a video, and I and the other bug triage team, we'll go through those bugs and we'll sort them out and we'll work through them. And that means that we'll make sure that if it's a packaging issue, that we'll get that handed into Scala and the rest of the packaging team. If it's an upstream bug, we'll make sure that gets through to KDE, so that those improvements can be put in place and make the software better for you, for me, and for everybody else. So yeah, there is no brick too small in this house. All right, shall we go back to our install and see what we got going on?
So this is the new full screen start. How do you call this again? I forgot.
Launcher, kickstart.
Launcher, yeah.
Kicker.
This is the new launcher. You just open it and you type whatever you want. Hey, Dolphin. I love Dolphin. There you go. Pretty Dolphin. Let me show you guys about KD. No, I was searching for the other one. Sorry. About Dolphin, so version You can see it's KDE apps version 15.08.2 using KDE frameworks 5.15, Qt 5.4.2, and the XCB windowing system.
Now, in fairness to the packaging team, they have blown a gasket trying to get this out the door, because the 1508 applications, they were only kind of released, or we were still only packaging them about 6 weeks ago. I remember seeing that all go through on IRC and all the conversations going about it. So this is like uber shiny, and we like shiny.
Yep, fresh, new and fresh. Okay, so this is the new Dolphin. What should I show them about it?
Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about, something on Dolphin actually, which I was so pleased with. Let me set the background for you. I just installed the brand new 1510 on my laptop. I'd been promising myself that it was going to be a fresh 2-disc install, brand new, not an upgrade. So I did all of that. Now, I have an own cloud server that my family use for all of our documents and all of the calendaring, etc. And up until this point, what we've been using very often is installing the own cloud synchronizing client onto each of the laptops or each of the devices, and then synchronizing it backwards and forwards. I've got a lot of documents and a lot of information, and I didn't kind of want to do that. What I wanted to do was to try and create like a Windows share or something like that, but I wanted to do it in a kind of really elegant way so that I could do it at a distance and remotely. What I discovered you can do in Dolphin is that it's possible to create a folder share inside of your home directory that is a WebDAV connection. So basically, just by right-clicking on the home window that you see there, a video, maybe you want to go through these steps with me,
sure.
But you basically right-click and then you click Create New, and you tell it you want to link to a location.
Okay.
And then you can give it a file name. So I called it Own Cloud was my share, and then in the enter link location, you just type webdav : // and then you type the address of your own cloud server, exactly the same information that you would type into the sync client, and you click
Do we have
OK.
a demo one that we can use for this? Mine is offline.
Yeah,
I can use mine, but mine is offline right now because I'm rebuilding my server right now.
Well,
Nothing
okay.
works on it.
I tell you, I wonder how. I tell you what. Here we do. Why don't you connect to mine for a second?
Sure. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so if you type Abazander.
Whoa.
ABAZ ANDER dot no-ip .org /OwnCloud
Okay.
/remote.php and then /webdav and hit OK.
I see a folder here. I suppose I would have to
click on
log
that.
in
It's
or
going to
something?
ask you for a username and password when it tries to connect.
It's doing something.
Probably way limited on my bandwidth here at the moment, because remember we're trying to go all the way across the internet. I was only trying to do this on my local network.
No, I got a timeout.
You got a timeout. Okay.
Maybe we can try the KDE share.
Well, you could give it a go if you like, but anyway, for the folks out there, if you've got an own cloud server or you use an own cloud, you'll know those URLs that you need to type in, because it's the same as you would normally type in. But what this does, which is really groovy, is that it connects that like a Windows share, and so now I can go into there and I can edit documents and save them back, and it's not synchronizing, it's not making copies of the documents now from my laptop, whether I'm outside or whether I'm in my local network, I can open up that folder, even if I'm out in a cafe, open up that folder, it will connect to my own cloud, and then I'm editing and using those documents and sharing it. And of course, that's a massive, 10 gigabyte store of docs that I can use.
Let me check. I think this is it. Let me check it again. share.kd.org/remote.php/webdev. Okay, I'm going to click OK now. Whoa, it works.
All right.
I'm going to type in my credentials. This is my super secret password.
Okay. Don't click the I.
It's apparently logged in. Try to create a new folder. Okay, I see a new folder. I'm going to go into the web interface and refresh. And I see that new folder. Okay, I'm going to create a new text file from the web interface so you guys can see it created, and I'll type something into it. No. How do I open this? I don't know. Apparently we don't have the text editor enabled there. I'm going to refresh here. Hey, new text file.
Yeah. So now, of course, you can do that with Samba, which is for Windows shares. You can do that with NFS, with Fish over SSH, with SFTP, with all kinds of different prefixes. You just basically prefix it in the same way, set those up as then folders, and then you're away. You can kind of mount resources across the internet, across networks, and have it all there and do the whole thing from Dolphin. I was absolutely overjoyed with that. It was a result in my book.
So it's basically the same thing as if you would just type here that address, but it will add a shortcut for it. Kind of, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That's right. Absolutely. Spot on.
Awesome. I will be using this. I'll definitely be using this. Thanks, Rick.
No worries.
Okay. So we got this out of the way.
Have we got Aaron? Has Aaron joined us with his camera off? Is that in there, hiding behind the other Kubuntu podcast thing?
Yeah. Hey, Aaron! Wait. I want you to see my toy. Hey!
Woohoo!
He's embarrassed.
I'm always in that video.
No, there's no pressure, Aaron. You just relax, buddy. He's been kicking back in the garden, drinking cocktails all day, chilling out. No need to rush home for the show. You just kick back and relax, man.
I always do.
I think he's been at work. I don't know what job he has. It's so demanding.
Hey, we just time
zones. At work.
Time zones.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, it's good to see you. We were bigging up your docs.kubuntu.org earlier on. Maybe you want to get that up, Aaron, and we'll come back to that in a minute. If you get docs.kubuntu.org set up with a link, and maybe you can take us on a little tour and show us some of the magic, because not only have we obviously got this great new distribution, Kubuntu Wily Werewolf, but also we've got brand new documentation, user guides, and all of that kind of stuff. So we'll take a look at that in shortly and have a little bit of a look. For those of you watching on UOS, Ubuntu Online Summit, remember to post your questions to IRC if you want to know anything, or if you want us to talk about anything in particular. We can do that for you. In the show notes, which you'll find a little bit later on Google+, we've also got some screenshots and some step-throughs for that process for connecting up WebDAV shares in Dolphin. Now, a couple of other things that are going on. Obviously, we'll take a look at some of the other applications in that virtual box as well. And of course, I understand that Kubuntu is coming with the Linux 4.2 kernel. Have I got that right?
I think so. We can check right now.
Yeah, maybe we could open another awesome tool, which is of course the console, and we could do uname -r to find out what the kernel is.
R. I always use A to see everything. Here you go, guys. You can see it big. 4.2.
We don't have a screen share yet, a video.
Oh, sorry. And present to everybody.
Right.
There you go. Nice and big.
So, got to encourage you guys to go out, download it, and test it, install it, and have a go, have a play around with it, see what you think of the new desktop. It's not, you know, seeing it here in Google Hangouts doesn't kind of do justice to just how fluid the kind of whole Plasma 5 desktop experience is. And one of the things about the desktop is it is everything is done in vectors, so that means it's really great at scaling. So we were talking about this with Ike from the KDE last time that we were on, but you could have a 6,000 pixel wide screen across triple screens, and Kubuntu will scale across those screens without making all the pixels massive and all the icons massive and so on and so forth. It'll scale and render using vector graphics, and that is pretty awesome and looks absolutely amazing.
Aaron told me to show you guys this thing. Waiting for Firefox to open for the first time. Yay! It's up. Ooh. And you just type in this magic URL, docs.kubuntu.org. Okay. And this shows how talented Aaron is. Aaron, can you talk about this?
I can talk about it. I need Rick to ask some user-friendly questions to me, though.
Okay. Can you tell me about if I wanted to do where would I look in here if I wanted to find out about how I install new software, and if I wanted to find out about what software was available to me and how I might use it?
To advanced or repositories. Repositories goes under adding PPAs and the main universe, what's in those, and how that gets classified.
I'm responding on IRC, so if you need me to click on something, just tell me.
You can click on advanced, so you can see it goes over everything about the repos, and there are 4 categories, and about PPAs, installing devs, and everything.
Advanced, advanced, advanced. Here we go.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into reader view because it's already pretty clear. We're gonna need to get that plugin that auto scrolls really slow. Anyhow, you guys can see this on the actual webpage. You don't have to read it from the video. Just go there and read all this information.
I think one of the important things about this, and this is really kind of important to get this bookmarked and connected on our website and stuff, is of course very often people want to know how to do things, how to install things if they're experimenting with Kubuntu for the first time. And this does a really good job of that. So we need to promote this to people and use the links. So those of you who are watching, and those of us in our Kubuntu community, make sure you make a note of this, because docs.kubuntu.org, especially if on things like IRC, for example, if those of us that are maybe in IRC trying to help people, if we can cut and paste these links to the right pages, like here, for example, somebody says, how do I install a PPA? We can cut and paste this link and send that to them, and send them to this official documentation. It makes it look really professional. It's it's very productized. We've done a really good job. You have done a really good job, Aaron, of putting this together. And it really makes the whole thing shine. It's that special bit of polish that makes things look really good.
And also this documentation can be exported into many different formats, like EPUB or PDF, and I don't know what else. Maybe Aaron, you can tell us more? What other formats can it be exported to?
PDF and EPUBs. The EPUBs you can actually open on your Android phone and through Google Play Books, and the dictionary function works too. If you don't know what a word means, it can look up the word.
Awesome. So here are instructions how to create the image on different operating systems, on how to create the image on different Linux distributions with different environments, installer with partitioning explained, with time zones, keyboards, a password. What else? Back to top. Repositories. How to add a repository. Here you go. Remove ads, PPAs. And software, I think, yeah, you explain all the software that is installed and a link to its manual on user base.
With the little special thing that translates it to your language.
If it's translated.
If it's translated, yes.
And if you want to contribute to this, you currently this documentation is hosted on Aaron's GitHub page. Aaron, can you please add the link to the show notes, and people can find the show notes after the show is done?
All right. Yeah, you can contribute to the GitHub, and if you're not familiar with using GitHub, you can go on. We have a media wiki page on userbase.kde. If you're more familiar with the wiki style.
And do we have anything in the manual on activities in Kubuntu yet, Aaron?
I need to write that. That is a good idea. I did not include activities. They are very.
Yesterday we had a session on Kubuntu, on the future of Kubuntu, and we talked about the next release of Kubuntu. And we knew that, but we talked about how can we improve the way we give people information on how they can contribute and the documentation. Because currently we have several places where we have documentation. We're trying to move everything centralized, mostly here on this site, and on our to-do list was currently spread on several Trello boards. And today, Philip started moving everything, merging them all in a single board, and we're going to try to use labels to better sort them and have more lists so that everything is condensed in one single board. If you want to contribute, you'll just go to that board, see what there is to be done, see what's the status of everything, and that's the place where the board exists right now, but not everything is migrated in. So we still have a few boards to merge them in.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and we're really hoping. I think it was a really great meeting of the community yesterday at the Ubuntu Online Summit, and I think in that conversation, it was a unanimous agreement that we've kind of got rather disorganized with our information, with bits and pieces of it in many different places. And while I speak for a moment over to you, maybe you could jump to the new website as well. Open that up here. Go to kubuntu.org, and we're gonna basically take all of the community stuff, so the Trello board, the wiki, and all of the other stuff, and you'll be able to enter the community via the community page from kubuntu.org. I'm going to get all of that information there, so there'll be links to everything, so that it's kind of all centralized. And what we're hoping is that makes things a bit more, makes things much more accessible and much more clear, and also gives you out in the community, when you want to share information, a better place and the right place to send people to. So bookmark that, kubuntu.org. We've got 1 month as a team. We're going to work hard over the next month collectively to resolve these issues, resolve some of these things, and aggregate all these things together. And on our next show, which is in December, it's the 2nd of December, will be our next Kubuntu podcast. Be following the usual format. We'll have an update on that as well, because the Kubuntu community team, the development community, will be meeting just before that show as well to review progress and to get some of the latest news of what we've been doing in Kubuntu, and then we'll be bringing that to you on the Kubuntu podcast as well. And our plan is to do that regularly ahead of each show, so that we're always bringing you the latest news straight from the belly of the beast, so to speak, straight from the development team and the contributors that are working on the ground. We'll have more initiatives on that as we go forward as well.
So I'm just showing off currently the community and the support pages from our website, and you can go in there and see how you can contribute or how you can get help. So those are the main pages you need to look at. And we have a contribute to Kubuntu page, and I believe this needs some updating, but it's pretty accurate. Yeah, it needs some updating. This URL is old.
Okay. Well, once we can get those actions put onto the new Trello board as well, and of course, if you guys find things that are not up to date, or if you find things wrong on the website, then get in touch. Let us know, because we can fix them, and and we will fix them if we know what needs fixing. Can I just also say one of the things while you're here, just very
obvious.
Sorry, a video. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Martin Graslin posted the blog post some time ago. He told us, report the obvious bugs. No matter how obvious, in our system, it might not happen, or we might not notice it. It doesn't matter how obvious it is. Report it. We also respond on Google Plus or Facebook, for Twitter for help, for support, but we prefer to centralize it on the email, because that way everybody can chat, or on IRC, or even better yet, in bug reports. We'll respond on social media if you talk to us and report a problem. We have a Kubuntu group, but what I'm trying to get as, report the obvious bug, because we might miss it. If you report it, then we will see it and we can fix it. But if you don't, then it might just stick there.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Sorry,
that's absolutely right.
No,
that's actually I want to reiterate that as well. Reporting those bugs. This will also help us as well, because both Ovidiu and I made a commitment yesterday to start working together, going through and triaging bugs. And we want to first of all get really familiar with that process and get the Kubuntu bugs team working and motivated, and we're going to work together to come up with a plan for that. And then we want to reach out to the community and show you how to get involved, how to help work with bug triaging, how to go through that process on Launchpad. But to do that, we need some bugs that we can practice on first of all. So we need you guys in the first instance to go report some. All right. I want to put a shout out here actually to somebody who also remains very quiet, but this new Kubuntu 15.10 Wily Werewolf, Andreas Del Sarto, I think his name is. He's the guy that developed this little Wily Werewolf conky character, and it was amazing. I got the privilege actually to help him. Just looking at his artwork, he kind of just kept sending me photographs of his artwork, which started off as simple sketches on graph paper, which he then took into Inkscape, I think, and or Critter, and began building this up and sending this artwork over to come up with this. I think this little logo, the little conky logo in the werewolf outfit, is just absolutely dynamite. It's such a beautiful little piece of cartoon work. So hats off to Andreo, who's done a magic job on that.
And he also built a series of emoticons on the KDE theme, using this new conky. Actually, he built two series. One was an experiment, and the second one looks awesome. So I don't know where you can get those. I know I've just seen them as JPEG, and we use them on Trello. Sorry, on Telegram. But we'll find the link and give them to you. You found the link, Aaron?
We can. I know that they are available on Google Plus, and if we can dig the link out, we'll dig the link out to the post. Andreo posted on Google Plus. He posted these icons, some graphics. He also posted some wallpapers, so 1080p wallpapers and 740 or 640p and 480p wallpapers, so that you can have this for your mobile phone, your Ubuntu phone. Which I have got Conky on my Ubuntu phone, and also, of course, for your main screen wallpaper. And there's a few different selections that you can use. We'll dig those out and we'll post them into the show notes for you and let you have them.
Guys, we have this artwork page where you can see some of his work and some Kubuntu and KDE artwork we have. So you can look on these. You can get here images for printing a DVD cover, inside, outside, and side. And we also have a translated version. I don't know, is it here or not? We'll have to look into that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So, guys, do you know we're out of time again? I don't know. We're up to the hour. We've got 2 minutes now on the Ubuntu Online Summit to cover this down.
We keep getting notified by the bot.
Yeah, so we're going to have to wrap this up. Let me go down into the. Let me first. Anything else you want to, Aaron or Ovidiu, you want to shout out before I go into the outro?
Not something in particular.
Okay, I'll take that as a no. All right. So how can you get in touch with us? All right, dead simple. Kubuntu.org. Come and visit our website. Come and see what we're doing. You can find out how to get in touch with us there. We encourage you to also come and join us on IRC. You can find all of us on irc.freenode.net in the #Kubuntu channel. We're always kicking about in there, and we're always happy to talk to people, especially me. I like talking to people. The problem is shutting me up. You can get in touch with us via you can get in touch with us via Telegram. So we've got a few Telegram channels. Grab into IRC to find out more details on that. Social media, you can get in touch with us on Google+, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Reddit, and on LinkedIn. And if you want to contact us, the Kubuntu podcast team, then the best place to get hold of us is on Google+ or via YouTube. All right, and so it just remains for me to sign off. I'm now going to shut up. Don't look so surprised. It does happen from time to time. It's been great being here, Ubuntu Online Summit, doing the Kubuntu podcast. My name's Rick Timmis. I'll see you soon.
I'm Ovidiu Florin. You can always find me on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, IRC, whatever. My blog is at ovidiu.geekaliens.com, and I'll try to post as regularly as I can. And if you have anything just ask us and we can help. Aaron, you're on mute.
Time to say bye-bye. He says what?
Broke.
I only just time to say goodbye. I only just got here. All right, we're going to say goodbye on Aaron's behalf because his video's still and the other. Goodbye, everybody. Catch you soon. Remember, Wednesday, the 2nd of December. Tune in and we'll see you then. Cheerio for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.